going on, YouTube? Greenwood Evil here tonight. Another Godzilla review. This is a big one because we don't get very many of these coming around the bend these days. So we haven't gotten very many Biollante product. I mean, sometimes you see X Plus, you see, I think there's an SH Monster Arts. They're super expensive. I mean, anything. I saw one that's on eBay the other day that's some sort of like a marmot, like glass sort of really special one, really rare, for like $1,500. You can't find Biollante product. But guys, Bandai has done it right here with the Movie Monster Series Biollante 6-inch version. We're going to get right into this right now. So the best part about this is that this is the first one that I've seen that Bandai has made in a very long time. They made a Trendmasters Biollante years ago. That was the American release one. But this here is super detailed for what I got for it. So before I get into this review, guys, if you are looking for a Biollante figure, collectible, vinyl, anything, definitely get this as soon as you can, because I have a feeling this is going to be a very expensive piece in the years to come, because it was only, obviously, she's only ever featured in one Godzilla movie. She's not like your Mothra, your Rodan, your King Ghidorah. She's only in one movie. But let's get into this review here. I want to show you guys something really, really neat here. If you look on the top part of the head here, look at all the detail there. Look at all the, like, I guess you want to call it her dorsal fins or spikes, because, you know, she kind of mimics Godzilla in a way in her second form here. But look at just the straight up detail that this figure has, you know, for a Bandai figure that probably goes for like 15-20 bucks from Japan, and I got mine for $30 plus shipping, so not too much more. This is a really detailed figure. You got her heart, or her, you know, her stomach area here, super detailed with the orange coming out. You got your oranges, you got your reds. Her eyes, I mean, I don't know if you can actually see that, but her eyes are like that, like a silverish purple, really, really neat looking. And then of course her teeth are fantastic. Like I said, guys, if there's not many Biollante product out there, so if you guys are looking for something before it goes expensive, there's your movie tag here with Biollante on one side. Of course, you got some more Biollante on the other side, and on the inside you have some information, I guess. I'm not sure what it says. You guys know. I don't know how to read Japanese, but I'm sure it's really, really, really neat. If we go to her back here, you see there's more of these vines popping out here. You got some vines on this side. That's the only thing I noticed as a little of a letdown. They could have painted these, like they painted this here, like the vines on the front part, or tendrils, whatever you want to call them, if it wants to focus for me. See how they have them kind of closed, but you can see the teeth there, how they grip on Godzilla in the movie and whatnot. Like, they honestly, they could have probably painted these as well. They just didn't. But you got two of them here. You can't pose them or anything, but you can pose the front one. So check this out. You guys can pose it if you need to for travel. Because when I got this in the other day, she came like this in the plastic bag. So she came like wrapped like that. And she came in such a small box, I was actually kind of upset at first. I'm like, why are they stuffing this figure that's clearly not the size of this kind of box, you know, in a small box? But bending her vines, I didn't know you can actually do that, which is pretty neat. So I guess if you really have to pose her for this, for some sort of storage or display because you don't have enough room, you can do that. But I think it's cooler if you even up, you see here, if I bring the light in a little bit here, if you even up the vine parts there, so you can even them up there, and then on this side you kind of even them up like right there, and that's how they're officially supposed to be. You guys can also tell I haven't had a chance to put a plastic sleeve on the tag because this is still super new. I'm a little bit behind on that one, but you could just see, if I slowly go around the figure here, all the nice detail they have here. This came out last year, 2018. I knew that it existed, but I just wasn't too keen on picking it up for some reason. And then I was looking at it about 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I was like, man, that's a really cool piece. I really should probably get that before it gets expensive. Because I believe when I saw it, it was like $22, $23 on eBay. And then I looked, when I looked 2 weeks ago, it was going for like 30 $35. I'm like, okay, well, starting to go up. That's the one thing you guys are going to notice, is that this figure is going to go up at some point. I know that some people don't think it's going to. I think it is. Because, like I said, you don't get a lot of Biollante merchandise. Let's do a quick comparison here. So we have our Biollante Movie Monster Series, and then we have our Godzilla from Planet of Monsters right here. Obviously not to scale, but it's okay. We move the camera up just a tad to kind of get that in focus there. But you know, just kind of a size comparison to how you're storing your Godzilla characters and whatnot when you're displaying them. She is a little bit on the wider side, so you're going to have to find some extra room for her. But she's not very tall, as you can see. She's actually a lot shorter than most of them. And if I also bring in here, for a size comparison, Shin Godzilla, that came out a couple years ago from Bandai, you guys can also see here that he is as tall as Godzilla from Planet of Monsters, and obviously much taller than the Biollante. Biollante looks smaller with this size comparison here, but it really isn't. It's a lot wider. It has a much bigger base, which I'll show you next. So it has a much bigger base, as you could see here. See, it has your 2017 Toho, Bandai, all your tags on it. It's just such a nice figure. I can't, like, instead, you know, like I said before, with the pricing on some of these Biollante figures, it's absolutely mad. It's absolute madness. You guys are better off getting something like this for, say, $25, $35 than having to spend, like, you know, a small fortune on something. This is so detailed, I can't even begin to describe it. It's really neat. It looks like you can move the head. I mean, you might be able to. I'm just not going to mess with it. If I can bring her face in here again, you can see the detail on the inside of the mouth that they put in there, which is crazy because, you know, sometimes with these 6-inch figures, they don't go to that kind of extent. But for Biollante, I guess they figured it was, as an exception, that they were going to really give you a good detailed look at it, because obviously, like I've said multiple times already, they haven't made much Biollante stuff. The only drawback that I see from this figure is, like I said before, the back tendrils or vines, or whatever you want to call them, her Venus flytrap arms or whatever. They could have been painted. That's just me. That's the only thing that, and that's like a super like, you know, petty gripe. That's not even a big deal whatsoever. This figure is just, it's absolutely fantastic. Like I said before, you guys can see the detail on that this figure has. If it wants to focus for me, why is my camera being like this today? You can see the details on here, all these individual pieces that they had set up for her. It's really neat. If you have yourself a smaller Godzilla figure about, like, you know, that big, you can kind of recreate the scene from the actual movie. Like, I'm not going to talk about the movie at all. I don't want to spoil it. It's probably one of the top 5 Godzilla movies, at least in my opinion. I'm not sure what you guys think. You guys can also see how they have the vine wrap up here and come up this way, which is pretty cool. And they have the same thing on this side too. I mean, and they have the little spikes that she has on her vines and whatnot. They did such a really good job with this one. I'm definitely an advocate for this figure, not just because it's cheap, but because they're hard to find. Because you don't got a lot of Biollante merchandise, like I keep saying. I'm just trying to drive that home. So as a giant hint, like if you guys are looking to start a collection, or you guys want something that's on the rarer side of Godzilla figures, this is going to be a rare one. It's going to be a rare one eventually. Doesn't look like it yet, but it's definitely going to be. Like I said, her heart, you know, her brain or whatever, in the middle there, that looks nice and detailed too. There's a lot of impressive detail on these Bandai figures, even if they're mostly just made of vinyl and in one color for the most part. As you can see, you got a couple different shades of green. This green is a little bit different from this one here, and then you have the red, the silver eyes, and then the orange here for her stomach / heart / brain / whatever. I don't remember what it is, and if I don't want to spoil it, so I'm not going to say it. But yeah, so this is such a nice figure. I definitely recommend it. It's definitely a must-have for a collection. I know that most of the time I do these reviews, I always say it's a must-have or you got to add to your collection. That's because I usually only buy the ones that are usually must-haves. I don't buy anything that's kind of like, if I don't like it when I first see it, I'm not going to even think about it pretty much ever again. I saw the Ghidorah from the Godzilla 3 Planet Eater. It looks okay. It's nothing too fancy. I have another Ghidorah review gonna come up soon in the future, so that's gonna be one to look out for. That's gonna be really neat. You got yourself your Godzilla seal there. Hit Godzilla from Godzilla vs. King Kong. I just noticed that. If it wants focus, that's funny. That's funny because NECA's putting theirs out very soon. I'll have a video for that one too in the near future whenever they decide to drop that. I haven't gotten a release date on that. Also, haven't really looked much on the internet to see if there is a release date. One thing I also want to point out is the tags are really neat because for the Movie Monster Series, I like how even like the front and then the back, it's all, you know, it's all by, this one's all Biollante here, and on this side here, like they kind of customize them, the tag to each character. That's why I'm so big on keeping the tags on them. I think it makes them more valuable by having the tags. It's just so cool. Movie Monster Series 2018. Such a good figure. Definitely recommend it. Found him on eBay for, like I said, I found her on eBay for like 30, I think $30, and then paid shipping, so not terrible. But I have a feeling in the future it will be a lot more expensive. But that is pretty much it, guys, for my review on the Movie Monster Series Biollante that was released last year. I'm late to the party, but I'm at the party here. Definitely worth picking it up. It's so awesome, and it has a little bit of posability, like I said before, so that's pretty neat. Definitely a must-have for your collection. And like I said, in the future, I have a Ghidorah review coming up. NECA is, like I said, dropping their Godzilla vs. King Kong, Godzilla 1962. They're dropping that. So I'll be doing that review in the future as well. So obviously keep an eye out for those. But that is pretty much it, guys. Of course, if you like the video, like it, subscribe down below in the left-hand corner. I'll pop other related videos, Godzilla reviews, all sorts of cool stuff. I'll put the playlist here. You guys can shuffle through them and see which ones you guys want to watch. They're all pretty good. But that is pretty much it, guys. Like I always say with these Godzilla reviews, if you have any suggestions, if you have any anybody you want to see, throw a monster's name, a kaiju's name in the comment section. Let me know. I'll go through what I have and see if I have something I can review for it. But that's pretty much it, guys. Until next time, take it easy. Peace.